Welcome, everybody, on this Friday night. It's actually nice in New York. It's going to be like 60 degrees next week. CrossFire Podcast coming at you live. I'm trying to give everybody a Vibrant pill, a fucking B12 shot in their ass to wake up, but we're going to do it Friday night before everyone goes out and gets drunk. Well, here's the deal. We got the usual suspects with me tonight. I got Rand, and he's becoming a usual suspect with Crap Gamer. Southbound is en route. He's dealing with that ridiculous LA traffic. And I do want to do a special shout-out to Xbot448, who was supposed to be with us tonight. He had something come up, family emergency. Let him know that our prayers are with him. I hope everything's all right. And hopefully we'll do this again next week with Xbot448 joining us. And then we've got Italian Clowns, who I couldn't have done my Twitch stream without him. I mean, it ended up we spent 6.5 hours working on trying to manipulate getting a party chat into Twitch on the Xbox One that we couldn't get done. Even with like immense amounts of equipment purchased. But thank you for helping me with that, Clowns. We can change and go. But welcome back to the show. Without getting any more time wasted, I really want to jump into this. As I put in the slogan here, we've got Xbox is PC, PC is Xbox. It's like Finkel is Einhorn, and Einhorn is Finkel. Basically, we're at the point right now, shout out to NextGen720, who did a great video today saying that, here's the deal, people. The bus is taking off. You don't have to get on it. And the good news is you don't have to get on it because the box you got in your house already will do whatever Phil has planned with whatever new hardware you can attach to the Xbox One. So with that being said, Crap, you saw what was going on today, and we'll get into what was going on with the one of the heads of Epic too. But did you get a chance to see what Next Gen was talking about and what a couple other videos that have been surfacing? Basically,
I haven't watched his video yet, but I will. I'll check it out for sure. But I get what Next Gen's saying. I can dance with that. Like, he's entitled to his opinion, and everybody else is. It seems like there's like this, I guess, very positive vibe going on with a lot of people, and I completely understand that. Like, a lot of people just think of things as a future type deal, you know what I mean? But I'm still thinking, why would anybody, need to do any of this stuff when we still haven't seen the cloud, or you know what I mean? Or like, are we gonna wait for this stuff? I mean, maybe that stuff will help out. It's not like it's running that bad, because what would, at this point, which again I'll state that I don't believe we're going to get any kind of updates for the Xbox One anyway. I would think that most games are running on par with the PS4 as it is, and most people have at max a 1080p TV, and these games aren't going to, neither one of them with upgrades are going to run 4K games. So at this point it's almost pointless to talk about as far as people worrying. I would just say that I wish Microsoft would just have a clear message. Just a clear message is all I'm asking for with this. They just let people stew and wonder and wait, and then the thing that pisses me off as a longtime Xbox owner and fan for 15 years is how quick did that news that Epic Games came out and was making and saying that the Windows apps or whatever was bad, and this Phil Spencer shot that right down this morning, right? Just knocked it completely down. Good. Right, because that had to do with Windows. He's been letting this Xbox stuff float since the first, so already 3 days.
Now, you know what? Now, first of all, I want to say this to everyone in the audience that's listening. Crap made a very good point right there. Now, and I agree with everything Crap just said. Now, my question is to you, Crap Gamer. Here's my thing. Is there a reason Phil can't talk about it? Because a lot of this stuff with the hardware concept between the Xbox One and, let's just for all practical purposes say the Xbox 2, or any plans, like he said when he was doing his speech at the reveal a week or so ago, they can't really reveal a lot of this stuff because of trade secrets. They don't want Sony to get a leg up. Do you think that's the reason he's being? Because he could say whatever he wants about Windows crap because there's no competitor.
It's possible. You're right. It's possible, and that's a really good point. But then maybe he shouldn't have been as cryptic, or just be like, well. Because he never did mention the Xbox One. Like, I keep going back to I watched his thing that he said, and never once did he mention or allude to the Xbox One getting any kind of upgrades or anything like that. And the more you look into it, you see that it's pretty much damn impossible on that current model. And it just brings up a bunch of other things. Like, people, it's a very polarizing, like me, right?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like, I don't think it's happening, and here's why I think that it would even be a bad thing. Like, I don't think it's happening right now, but here's why I think it might be a bad thing in the future if you just give me a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people. Like, what do you love about console gaming? For me, it's you plug it in, you play. It's really simple. Everybody's on an even playing field. You got this. Everybody's got like a controller. There's nobody that has an Xbox One that's going to give you more frames per second or more resolution. We're all the same.
Right.
Love it, right? Love that. I'm a competitive guy. I like to play. At the same point, it's not because if there was an upgrade that I wouldn't get it, but I don't want to beat somebody because I'm cheating.
Right.
Or because I have an advantage because there's some poor guy that can't afford to get a $200 upgrade. If I want to beat somebody, I want to know that I'm better than them.
Right.
You know? And then people are like, just the same thing with the keyboard and mouse, right? They're like, well, there'll be lobbies where just keyboard where you can play against those or not. I'm like, okay. You know, I keep stretching my goalpost back. I can deal with that. Now they're going, well, maybe there'll be lobbies where for people that haven't upgraded versus people that have. So you're going to keep I mean, how many slices of the pie are you going to have?
You make a really good point, Crap, and I've been really pondering this, and you're right, we haven't heard anything from Microsoft. And Rand Clowns, by all means, feel free to jump in here. Like, we haven't heard anything about them. On the competitive side, you made a point. If this new graphical boost or this hardware boost, okay, that may be coming, may not be coming, if it does affect frames per second, and we're talking about I'm playing a game at 60 FPS and you're playing it at 30, that is a problem in a multiplayer scenario. Well, then again, in most multiplayer is all 60 FPS, I would say, right? Even Call of Duty, Halo, etc., etc. But except for that, the way I'm understanding it, Crap, is you've got to, and I know this is your arch nemesis, the PC. But if you look at a PC, okay, we all know that majority, 68% of PCs are running at the Wii U's strength, okay? But those people can play Doom from 1995 on it, or they could play a game that came out last week on it. And I think what the whole point is, except for the frames per second argument, which for the most part on a competitive level is already, everybody's at 60 FPS already. For the most point is, if you go by it, if you weren't Crap Gamer, the guy that we all know so well, okay, and that I know personally, and you were just a guy, and you were a PC guy, and you're like, hey, Mooch, guess what? I'm picking up the Division next week. I go, oh, me too. And you're like, well, that's nice. Yeah, I'm buying it for my PC. And I'm like, oh, I'm buying it for Xbox One. You're going to go home Tuesday night, and you're going to play the game at a higher resolution and a better frame rate than I am, okay? But that exists today. It existed last week, and it existed almost 15 years ago. So what I'm saying to you is, even though you feel this way, short of you being shorthanded, if that happens on a competitive edge, I'll tell you right now, I wave the white flag. Every single thing you've said holds water, and I'm right there behind you. I'm going to get out of my line and jump into your line. But if everything's the same and as it is, but I decide to go spend $150 next Friday on a graphical edition, or excuse me, a hardware edition, what's the difference between me and the PC guy that exists? We're both playing our games. You don't know how my TV looks. I could be using a tube set.
Well, that's also assuming the games will be cross-play. Because I don't necessarily think most games will be crossplay.
You think they won't be crossplay between like Xbox One A, Xbox One B? You don't think so?
Well, okay, in that scenario, yeah. But I mean, you're talking in a situation where like Xbox One A has a game running at 1080p 30, and then Xbox One B has the game running at 1080p 60 frames per second, just
that's
as
what
like
Crap,
a comparison.
That's the best case I think. Crap,
do you really think you would get a jump that? I mean, that's quite a jump of 30 frames. I mean, I understand like in that situation, yeah. I mean, the competitive nature of.
Well, I got news for you, Rand.
I'm 60, you're 30. Yeah, that'd be.
But Rand, I'm not going to go put $150 out of my pocket to get this additional piece of hardware, and it just solidifies.
Well, right, but I mean, I would assume, right, but I would okay, so like. I'm with Crap. I don't think this is going to happen for Xbox One. In fact, I'm pretty sure I would say I'm pretty sure it's not. You know, like I don't think the Xbox One was built for this. I don't think it was designed for this with in mind, right? I mean, I guess it's theoretically possible they could do it with the Slim, where they have an extra port on there that can upgrade it, but I seriously doubt. So it'll be more like the next system, right? But like I would assume, okay, so the Xbox One, the way it's currently built, was designed for what, 2012, right? 2012 technologies when they started building it, right?
That's how I would base it.
So like if say the next one comes out in 2020, okay, well that's built with 2019. Like I would guess with that type of technology that you're going to be getting minimum 1080p 60 frames on like every game regardless. So like the frame rate, I don't think you'll get that big of a that big of a competitive boost.
It's speculation gone wild. See, even you're just
of course.
what are you gonna do?
Because that's what this is. It's just talking about, think about it. It's like we're talking about something that maybe or may not happen 3 years from now. It may not even happen at all.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but wouldn't you rather have them say like, how they've mentioned, well, we take care of it and do keyboard and mouse right. How about they just theoretically go, if we were to do something like this, we would do it right. That would ease so many people. You know what I mean? Like, we would definitely have look into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot of people out there that are losing faith in the Xbox, and the people that are running the Xbox. I'm not, and again, I hate being this downer guy. I feel like I am a lot now, but it's not like I'm not having fun with the Xbox. For me, it's like everything feels almost in flux. It's like, you reconsider maybe getting games for it, like because maybe I start investing my times getting trophies now. What's going to happen? I don't know. I would like some kind of answer. Their messaging is fucking piss poor.
True. But I mean, it's not like they're about to start launching the next system. Like I completely, like, I'm behind what you say. The messaging is terrible. But they're not launching it, like, if they were launching it this year, I'd agree with you. Like, you're right, dude. But, like, if it's 3 years from now, they don't need to explain to us their roadmap for their next system yet. I mean, it's not like Sony's already talking about the PS5.
And that's it. And we don't even. And here's the thing, crap. If we go back in time 3 weeks ago, you made a valid point to say something along the lines of, Xbox has given me stream to PC, and I don't use it. I think most people don't. Here's my thing. I said this only a week ago. Sony is shitting their pants. Okay, now they're streaming to PC and Mac. Why? If it's such a small thing, why do they need to do it? Okay, so they're doing that. Now, Microsoft's telling everybody, listen, we see that hardware is too expensive to pop out at the rate of technology, and consumers will not continue to pay $400 or $500 every few years. We're going to do it so we can graphically boost you every year and a half for the next generation moving forward. Okay, they came out and said that. Maybe they shouldn't have even said that, but they did say that, and that's okay. It's not like it's really that unfathomable, right? We do it every 2 years with our phones. So what I'm saying is that, like, now Sony is got to do that. And we don't even know what the PS5, we said it a while ago. They bought Gaikai and this, that. We're like, oh, God, the PS5's not even going to have a disc tray. It's not going to have anything. It's just going to be streaming service. Why else would they spend $500 million on streaming services they bought? I mean, like, what I'm saying is that even this map that Microsoft's doing, it's vague, but we all know something different's coming next generation. Not drastic.
From them maybe.
Right.
But if I'm Sony, I'm like, you know what? We're just going to come out with a powerful static system that everybody's used to and just dominate the market. Because let's face it, no matter what Microsoft does, the rest of the world outside of the U.S. and the U.K. aren't going to buy into it anyway. So Sony's already got a big advantage.
Well, maybe. But I mean, how long? All right, so you know what, crap? Here's the deal. So Sony does that, exactly what you say, just makes a static, powerful console that sits in the corner again, just like it's been doing for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
And it just, right, so then they do very well out the gate again, let's just say. When is it that times will change? I used this example years ago when we first started doing it, when I first got on BGST. I'll never forget when my aunt got one of the first generations of the refrigerator with the ice cube tray. 99% when you walked into Sears did not have the ice cube tray on the outside. You had to still make it with the damn tray, slide it in there. It didn't have the automatic. Now you can't find one without an automatic one unless it's one of those ones for rental in an apartment. Well, so, I mean, eventually this technology's got to become common, right?
Well, this is what I would say. It doesn't necessarily have to, because Sony, as being the market leader, and they will be like the worldwide market leader no matter what, developers, no matter what Microsoft comes out with, are still going to low spec it to whatever the lowest thing is. So that the PS5 or whatever will always have to be something that developers think about no matter what. And I think that, like, people just, I don't know. It's like people like me. I don't care about the power thing. Honestly, I still have my phone from years ago. It works. I can do everything for it. I don't upgrade it. A lot of people that do subsidize those things, right? Mm-hmm. You take your phone with you everywhere. Can do everything. Consoles are just like more of a luxury thing, in my opinion, for an entertainment thing. So I don't think people are going to be eager to upgrade those every year. If you notice, like Walmart, they don't sell upgrade parts to PC anymore at the stores because then they used to, but nobody would buy them. Mm-hmm. You can't really what are you gonna do? You just there's so many questions. Like, what the hell?
I did talk to Phil last night, right? And
Jesus, let me get in on that one day.
What?
Nice. Let's hear it, Rand. Right now.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't.
Rand can't say shit.
When I get to party with him and play stuff with him, I don't really ask him about his work stuff because he doesn't want to. He just wants to be a regular dude, right? He doesn't want to be head of Xbox. But he did say he was going to be on Major Nelson's podcast to talk more about this.
Yeah, I might grab some beers and do a drinking game, and every time they mention Windows.
I don't know if that's up, yet. But he did say, he'd be explaining this more, so maybe the information is already out there, on that podcast or whatever. But I don't know. Sometimes they just look. I'm also Microsoft is a corporation that is. Look what happened today with Tim Sweeney, right?
Yeah.
Nobody trusts Microsoft as a corporation, right? Because of what they've done in the past. And a lot, I trust Phil, but I don't necessarily trust everybody at Microsoft, right? Yeah. Because, as nice of a guy Phil is, and, his intentions with the Xbox, I think, are perfectly fine. You don't know how much that stuff gets mangled and changed by the people up the corporate chain, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem I have with it is how much, how much is this your plan, but then how much of it is your plan twisted by the the other people at Microsoft.
Yeah, clowns.
Go ahead,
Rand. I want to get clowns in here because clowns. I read all the stuff you do on Twitter. You're very vocal. What's your take on what's happened in the past 7 to 10 days?
I just think basically what Microsoft is doing is, like Rand said, they're a big corporation and they're using their power and their leverage. And, Crap hit some good points with the PS5 going to be everywhere in Asia and all the other parts of Europe. But Microsoft has the power with third-party manufacturers. No matter what Sony does, Microsoft has it hammered down like Walmart does. I mean, every time you buy a PC, what does it come with? Windows. And it's been doing that since what? Windows 3.1, DOS 6.22. They have it. They have all these third parties nailed down. Microsoft is like Skynet, dude. It's going to be there. The future of Xbox, though, I just wanted to touch on what Crap said, the frame rate, the issues, stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be a big deal 3 years, 4 years from now. I think, like Rand said, the graphics power in that next Xbox or whatever it is going to be comparable for everybody. What I'm worried about is the RAM. I'm worried if somebody was to pump in extra RAM into that thing, that would make a whole big difference on a server when you're playing.
So you don't want there to be unfair advantages, right? You're in the same thing.
Well, nobody wants unfair advantages.
Yeah.
Right? And I've had that conversation with people at Microsoft where I talked about, look, I've mentioned say hypothetical situation, there's Halo on the PC and Halo on the One, right? Say for Halo 5 comes to PC, right?
Well, obviously it is. I just pray they don't fuck me over on E3 and do that. I've had this
conversation with two people at Microsoft in a party. I was like, listen, nobody wants a situation where I'm keyboard and mouse on PC, and you're playing up against people that are controller on the Xbox One. Nobody wants this situation. They all told me they know that they're gamers as well. There's steps in place to, prevent that if they were to go down that road. They know all the competitive advantages of PC versus Xbox, and if they were to do something like that, you would have to essentially trust them to do it right.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard Ibarra said the exact same thing, but again, that would still split some of the thing because some people maybe would want to try their luck till they get fucking utterly smacked by people with a keyboard and mouse.
Right.
And then run with their tail, but yeah, so they would divide it off like, okay, keyboard and mouse versus keyboard and mouse, or this and this, and I just worry like, okay, if there is such thing as upgrades, and I'm not saying there is I'm saying if, like if you're not getting a big advantage, then who's going to pay to upgrade? Because if you're not going to be able to get like if you
you bring up a great point. If the upgrade isn't you're right. It has to be a noticeable upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Because who's going to upgrade for $200 if it doesn't give you anything?
Exactly.
So there's that. I mean, okay, I would assume though, like if it's like say you could upgrade the Xbox One right now, it would probably be noticeable. You probably would be getting games that, let's be honest, like Digital Foundry would probably say all the Xbox One in this upgraded version would be better than the PS4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but as time moves on, the law of diminishing returns happens, like you're not going to see that much greater. So you're right. So if you have the next system in 2020 and then the upgrade comes out in 2022, is it really going to be that much of a difference? Noticeable enough where you're like, you know what, I'll drop $200 on this to pick this up. I don't know. I mean,
by then, let's hope everything's already 4K. I mean, that's the biggest thing I see right now going forward with upgrading the graphics is making people happy with that 4K stuff.
Do you guys see that? Like, people are like so jumping the gun with this stuff, and like me, I'm honestly like wait and see. But I'm just honest when people are like, well, if they ever come out with something where it's modular, or this and that, what do you think? And I'm like, well, just being honest, not being a baby or anything about it, I would just be out because it's not my thing, right? But I'll read you guys something, like, because there's this guy who always claims to be an insider, and he messages me about stuff, right? So this is what he messages me yesterday. He says that he works at Microsoft on the Microsoft Surface thing or whatever, and he basically says this, how it's going to go. Xbox One 2013. He says they're renaming it Xbox Surface in 2016, and there's going to be a slim, more powerful one this year, but everything's going to be like forward compatible and stuff. And then he says the Surface 2 doesn't know what they're going to call it 2018, Surface 3 2020. Then he says, let's see, this is what the current plan is. In 2020, if someone has an Xbox Surface 3, you'll be able to play games at 4K. He doesn't know what the specs are, but he says once you connect to Xbox Live multiplayer servers, the system will automatically reserve the extra power so it can be used to the lowest common denominator. He says he's not entirely sure if the Xbox One will be a 5-year or 7-year cycle, but the plan is each console has 6 years worth of content going forward. For explanation point, he'll say 5. So in 2020, the 6-year cycle has passed, so the lowest denominator for multiplayer will be knocked up to the Xbox Surface releasing this year. So in 2020, multiplayer will be playing with 2016 specs, but solo play will be 2020 specs. He goes on to say that you won't get a boost in multiplayer as far as graphics, resolution, or frames per second, only in single-player stuff. He says once you buy the latest console, it'll last for 6 years. You'll be missing out on higher res and frame rate and potentially some graphical updates if the developers wishes to do so, only in solo play. But other than that, it will be a regular 6-year console cycle, and the Xbox One could last 5 to 7 years. The only reason you would have to upgrade earlier than 6 years would be higher resolution and frame rate in solo play. Basically, what he says what happened was Phil came to them and said, okay, so Xbox One is underpowered compared to the competition, and it's hurting the brand and sales. How would you go about solving this? And he says they brainstormed multiple ideas. One was to start fresh and turn the Xbox into a Surface completely, which Phil shot down because he didn't want to turn the console into PC. And then he says another was upgradable parts, but to do that they would have to build another console first, which Phil didn't want because the Xbox One is just newly released. So they had a lot of ideas on the table. We're going to go ahead with the best solution. So they rebranded it, quote, Xbox Surface. And again, this is just some guy. I don't know. I mean, this stuff sounds kind of plausible, but who knows? And he says the Xbox One name is dead. It'll be more powerful than a PS4. With how they're doing it, Xbox owners can continue to play games until 2020 at least, or upgrade to get better hardware for solo play. And it's got financial advantages for Microsoft as well.
So this guy is saying it's coming like soon.
He says the Slim will be called the Xbox Surface. That Phil's not a fan of the One name.
Nobody's a fan of the One name.
Yeah. So he says that the Surface has a good name going for it and a lot of.
That is true.
Yeah. So
I mean, some of that sounds plausible, but like some of it.
Yeah,
sounds...
you know what? Like I asked my brother, who I did a podcast with, who does tech and builds computers and stuff. He goes, you know what? If they did it like that, you could probably get away with where the multiplayer stuff, you're just everybody's even no matter what. You know what I mean? Because look, when you play Killer Instinct crossplay, no matter what somebody's rig is, they have to play the same frames per second as you on console, right?
Right.
So they obviously have a way to control it. If they did something like this, then I could see that possibly working, because you don't have to do that shit. You can still get your same multiplayer.
Do me a favor, because I think that was a lot of information. First of all, welcome Southbound to the crew. Well, what's up, South?
What's going on, fellas? How's everybody
Hey, what's
doing?
up, bro?
Good to have
Hey, Randall, you know what? Hey, I was listening on the ride up here back home, and nice way to stick to that NDA, brother. Good job.
Dude, look at that new avatar, man.
I like that. Is that a Diego?
It looks like crap.
You know what? It's actually Jay Williams. Jay Williams blessed me.
Jay Williams, graphic god.
He finally took pity on me and said, "Here, South, I made some for you, bro. I know you've been hurting." So,
it's pretty pimp. And Diego does good work too. But shout out to Jay Williams, graphic god, who couldn't make it tonight. But the man does great work.
He does.
No, but crap. If we can just go back, because that was a plethora of information that you read off, and I want to ask a question that I have, and I'm sure the audience might have too.
Okay.
And so you're telling me, not you, this insider, whoever it is saying that possibly the slim version will be called the Xbox Surface. And what would be the hardware differential? Would it be just the ports to allow us to add hardware, or it would have new hardware?
Apparently, it would be new hardware in it. Okay. Enough to do, but not as big a jump as maybe people would assume. Like, you would be able to do, like, it would do everything it would be more powerful than the PS4, but you're not going to get 4K gaming or anything from it. You know, you'd get 1080p wouldn't be a fucking problem. You know, frame rates wouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
So my question is, though, now, okay, this is a question you guys have always posed. I just want to. So, how do they differentiate now? A third-party game let's just call it a single-player game. So there's no multiplayer. Okay, it's a third-party game making a single-player adventure. And now the Xbox Surface would be able to play it at 1080p, no problem. And the Xbox One we currently have would be 900p.
Like that for single-player, that would be probably something, and most people probably wouldn't care. Like me, that wouldn't bother me. I think a lot of people wouldn't care. But then for those real techies or whatever. They could buy, say, a $400 new Xbox Surface, and but you're going to get the same multiplayer experience. Like, if they did something like this, I'm telling you, just from this guy, what he's telling me, I'm not saying this is right or anything, but if this were the plan, I could see nobody having an issue with it, even me. As much of a downer as I am, if they're just coming out with this thing every 2 years, but the multiplayer stays the same for everybody, because I would probably upgrade too. I'm just saying I don't want to be unfair to anybody, because I like to win and fucking win on my own. You know, not because I have better shit than somebody.
You know, like, I would just, like, I don't think one of the reasons that makes me think that's some guy just making shit up is there's no way they're going to call it the Xbox Surface.
Surface?
Well, they're having a Surface phone.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's writing that Surface name. There's going to be a Surface phone. There's going to be a Surface bathroom. What else is next? Surface vibrator?
If you're going to come out with an upgrade thing, I think they already have the name. It's Elite. You just would call it the Xbox One Elite or whatever.
They already have an Xbox One Elite.
For the controller, you could easily just partition that into a line of things and come out with an upgraded console and call it the Xbox One Elite.
You do make a good, but don't they already have one out?
Yeah, there is an Xbox Elite. It comes with the Elite
system
controller.
itself. That is right.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, with the solid state drive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I would just say, like, as far as like I'm concerned, the Xbox One name is so tarnished with people, you almost need to rebrand it. That's why.
It's a dumb name. It's a dumb name. I would love to have been in the board meetings when they were discussing names for the system.
Yeah, Don Matrick, that's your boy South.
Yeah. Bring back Don, please, bring him back. He was the best.
No, but I'm saying if this was something, and I'm just telling you guys what some random guy. He was right about a lot of stuff, like Red Dead coming into backwards compatibility and some of this stuff, and the Quantum Break 3 and the $50 price drop. He was right about that. You know, he's been right.
Some of what he said makes sense. I mean, the single player upgrades only. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. And
because you guys like Mooch and fucking next gen, you'll be all over that shit. You do your phones and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd get one every 2 years just for some single player resolution. Since to be honest with you, I can't tell.
Listen, I've always broke it down like this. This is slightly changing subject, but we're going to come right back to it. You know, people always say, "Oh my God, that's expensive. $400, $500. What would you buy a new console for?" I said, "Dude, are you out of your mind?" Like literally last night. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people that listen to the show also follow me on Twitter. Last night, I went out. Me and my wife. We went to go watch Jerry Seinfeld. He came to the local area theater. We went and checked out Jerry Seinfeld. We went out for some drinks and just some literally finger food stuff and some drinks after. Again, literally the night alone was probably about $450, right? Because the tickets, the whole nine. That's a night, people. That was one night. And don't use my example. Use your own example. Everybody went to a local pub or a bar or a dance club in the past month. You dropped $80 to $150 in a night. Now we're talking
dance
about
club. How old are you, Mooch? Holy shit, dude!
Well, I'm trying to hit the whole audience here, not me.
You were at the Speakeasy just last week.
Right? You were running that moonshine.
You know, I mean, I'm trying to hit the whole audience here, but you know, you're right. I mean, my point is that you can't complain about $400 to last you 6 years. Who the hell? And plus, if you're a gamer and you're arguing with anybody on the panel here, who the hell are you? You're not a gamer then. You're just some guy who's just trolling and you don't like to do anything and, you know, you're cutting coupons while you're yelling at us on your phone. You know, I mean, you're an oddball. There's no way you can get mad at $400. Now, if you take something and it happens to be an additional piece of hardware for $150, my case is even better. $150 to last you 2 years is peanuts every day if it's something you genuinely enjoy to do. So
Mooch,
I don't really have a problem upgrading. Yeah.
I'm going to interject for 1 second.
No, go ahead.
Like, I saw some people saying this in chat, and I've actually gotten a couple tweets now.
Sure.
Like, guys, I am an Xbox fan. I don't even have a PS4. I'm not negative about any of this stuff. I don't know why people are saying that. Like,
yeah, I don't know where people get that from you.
Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I try to look at it from a realist approach, like something that makes sense. If that sounds negative, that's not what I try to get across. I'm just trying to. I mean, I don't know. I've gotten 5 tweets now about this. You're too negative for this show. Go game with Sony. Like, what?
I get that a lot too.
Like,
believe it or not, I don't.
Especially lately.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
hey, honestly, the last few days people are they're trying to talk me off the ledge too. So don't feel bad, crap.
I love the Xbox. I mean, shit, it's the fucking only. I'm the only one here who probably only just has an Xbox, right? Yeah. I've been gaming on it constantly since 2004. I don't have a PlayStation or any other stuff. Like, I get it. I mean, I don't know. It blows my mind. I mean, what did you used to call me, South? If you didn't know who I was, you consider me an undercover pony or something?
Yeah, definitely. Because you're so pessimistic.
But that's who I am. I am a glass half empty kind of guy.
Me too.
It's not Rude Jude. It's Rude Rand.
So I do take. I will look at things on a pessimistic approach.
Well, I mean, the way, and don't get me wrong, you have every right to look at it half empty. My point is that Phil's come out a number of times now, even with all this cryptic messaging. He's come out a number of times now and said, we're gonna have another console. There's gonna be another generation. You know. So with that being said, it's really hard for me to get that angry. And like I said, no matter if it's what Crap said with the insider information, or if it was how Next Gen broke it down earlier today on a video, or how we're discussing it now, you're still going to be able to go to a store, a brick and mortar, purchase a disc, come home, put it into your console, sit on your couch and play. And that's no different today than it was 10 years ago, and it's no different than what's going to happen in 4 years. Now, what I see on my television, you know, Z made a good, whether I have a 4K TV downstairs in my man cave and upstairs I don't. I have a 1080p TV. I mean, do I get depressed when I come upstairs? No. I mean, do you care when I'm playing? No. So all these things that we're talking about, and Microsoft, Crap, you said it yourself with Killer Instinct. They're well aware that they can't make it an even playing field of saying, oh, you're on keyboard and mouse. That's like giving somebody with a fucking third arm growing out of their ass a chance to play against you in a multiplayer. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have to be clear about this stuff, though. It's like,
they do.
I mean, just like I said, you get slapped in the face, and I wasn't the only one. Like I've been very quiet about this. Like you watched this week on Xbox with Major Nelson, right? And it was literally Windows, 4K Windows, make you feel like shit, like a scumbag if you don't have some 4K setup. And I waited for someone else, like just people that aren't fanboys but that like game on everything, and they're like, this is kind of depressing. Like it's just Windows. And South, I know you said too when I was first like a little bit upset. You were like, now if they go and do all this Windows, that's my impression of you, by the way. If they go,
hey, pretty good. Hey, all right.
If they go and do a Windows show at E3, then I'll be on board with you. I hear what you say, crap. Yeah, so basically...
Hey, you know what? That kind of sounds like my own thoughts. That was pretty good.
That's what you told me, right? You're like...
No, seriously. If they flip the script and it was like, Windows, everything, I'm like, all right, peace, I'm out, deuces.
Yeah, like this is what I'm saying, right? Like us Xbox fans, we like the exclusive thing, right? That ship has sailed, I get that. But don't fucking do it on E3. Don't give away Halo 5 at E3. Like, that's a kick in the nuts on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I just for me personally, I think like
I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening.
I think did you hear like Gears 4 is happening on PC? So
I'm hearing it's happening, but I'm hearing it's happening delayed. It's not gonna be,
Well, they just
if I were to guess, I would say delayed. That's just being an estimate and guess, whatever.
They literally just got the Ultimate Edition of the Gears 1, so obviously they won't want to like they'll probably give them.
Yeah, there's no reason to give out two games on the Gears.
Yeah, in the same year. Yeah, like I get that, or and they are going to get Halo Wars, so maybe they wouldn't get whatever, but it's like you got people like Boogie who's like they promised us Halo with mouse and keyboard support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
he's a troll. Listen, he's one of those people that has 1 million subs and he's a troll. He's no better than the person who has 6 subs. He stirs up controversy to get people upset. That's the whole thing here. It is the lack of Microsoft.
Man, I hate people that do that shit. God.
What it is.
Well, I know, right?
God damn, yeah. Assholes.
But I mean, like, in all honesty, like that's his job. That's what he does. You know what I mean? It's not like he's not gonna get up and go to work like the rest of us and punch a clock. He's got to get up, roll from his bed to his big, huge reclining chair, eat some Funyuns, and
his big, huge. Damn.
That's what he does, man. It is what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. But like, what I'm saying is that, like,
ladies and gentlemen, that was a fat joke. That was a fat joke.
But like, in all honesty, like, no matter how you slice or dice it, you see crap. You and South, you say something, and I shake my head a little bit because you guys are like, if they came out on E3 and they're like, Windows this, Windows that, Windows, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't matter to you. We're still playing the same game on an Xbox.
I
Who
do,
cares?
but
I'm not gonna be a PC gamer, bro. And believe me, I've howled to the moon. I went to the top, but I actually had to apologize to Phil because I was like banging down his DMs like, you better not put a nail in the coffin for the Xbox. I'll be pissed,
I mean, but it's
he was actually teasing me about it last night. He was like, "It's okay, Southie. It's okay."
hey, Mooch. It's not that it's not the fact that things are happening on Windows. It's the fact that they're talking mostly just about that stuff. All the announcements and stuff seem to be just for that. Go and watch this week on Xbox. It's all just Windows and PC stuff.
Yeah, but crap, let's go back to your insider for a minute, okay? We're talking about, and let's not take everything he says with a grain of salt. Let's embellish it our own way.
Alleged insider.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say the Xbox Surface, okay? But they're going that way. What I'm trying to say to you is the reason they're starting to talk more Windows and less the word Xbox, just in general, is because your Xbox is going to be Windows. It is Windows 10. So what I'm saying to you is Xbox still exists. It's Windows now. They're kind of, you guys said it, we need a rebrand. We're getting it. It's not necessarily changing drastically at all from what you guys do today. It's just the name's changing.
Who wants a Surface?
Well, that's the insider calling it that. Maybe they'll call it the Xbox something else. But what I'm saying is that, like, I wouldn't even care if it was the Slim was called the Surface. What do I give a shit? I don't care if it's called the Xbox.
You know what?
Still.
You know what? They just have to say Xbox. That's all we need.
Exactly.
We don't need no Xbox 2, Infinity,
right.
Platinum, Gold, whatever. I just want Xbox.
Xbox.
Period. Exclamation point.
Yes, that's actually a good name. Xbox exclamation mark. That's what I would do.
I don't mind the Surface thing, to be honest with you.
That's
But
not
everything's
bad
a
either.
Surface. Everything's a Surface. There's a Surface phone. There's a Surface tablet. There's a Surface notebook. Don't play it out.
Okay, here I'm gonna give you guys something because this guy Troy, shout out to Troy. He listened to Major Nelson's podcast and he linked me to it. He goes, Phil was on there. I said, hey, can you summarize what happened on the podcast because obviously we're in the middle of this one. He says basically. Says Xbox One, no changes. He's happy with games or performance this gen. Won't be opening up your Xbox or anything to swap out parts, etc. No add-ons, whatnot. Didn't say yes or no when Major asked about the next console. Said as he sees it today, it appears there will be one, but he can't read the future and how things will change. And that's what he covered in that. So.
Well, that's PR speak to say, hey, continue to buy the Xbox One until we announce the next Xbox.
But don't you see, like, if he would have said this, because he says this on this like podcast, why not on Twitter where all the sites would run with it? That he could, because there's people that are going to hold off on buying. This is what Microsoft fucks up with most of all, their messaging. Remember when they first dropped it down from $399 to $349? They go, we're going to do this in 2 months. Nobody bought the Xbox One for 2 months. Because they knew it was getting a $50 price drop after that, right? Total fuck up. And then when they lowered the price, they raised that fucker back up and didn't sell anything. Like they fucked themselves constantly.
That was a weird thing when they were like, it's a limited time promotion, and then we were gonna and it's gonna go back up, right?
And then it went back up for what, 2 weeks? For 2 weeks, and then they got
and it sold nothing. Yeah, and look, they literally sold less than 100,000 units in January, right? They need to do something, and now they got this stuff, and it's like I feel bad because the Xbox and Microsoft gets an unfair shake in the media, and I feel bad because I'm an Xbox guy and love the damn thing that I have to go in on it like I do because I know that it seems like everybody, because then I have like a contingent of fans that are like, crap, don't you love the Xbox? Yes, I do, but it's like this stuff is stuff that people, like, there's a big contingent that actually worry about this stuff, where people that ask me, should I even get one, are they going to start, like, making you get add-ons because they have flashbacks of that fucking 32X and all that shit, or the RAM upgrade on the N64, all this stuff that fails miserably. They don't want, like, this Frankenstein deal. I mean, it's already kind of a Frankenstein as it is. Like, they're like, should I wait for the Slim? I don't know, because Microsoft is so fucking wishy-washy with their story. You know what I mean? And then you got some people just expecting, like, this big explosions at E3, and I think E3 is just going to be about games, and like we all thought that we were going to get answers to questions at this event, and we got more questions than anything now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think we'd get any answers at the event. Like, I mean, but you gotta, I mean, don't forget, like, they're pushing these things like the Windows PC stuff because it's a brand new kind of thing. You kind of have to. Like, here's Ultimate Edition is brand new, so it's a new product they have to push because they want people to buy it, so push it. Windows 10 4K, all that stuff. It's brand new, you have to push it, like...
Push it good?
Push it real good. Right? But, I mean, to me, it's not a surprise they're doing it because, like I said, it's a brand new product. You got to push you got to push it real good to But, I don't know. Like, I love speculating about all this stuff. I love rumors and speculation, but, like, honestly, like, at this point, we can go in a circle and just, say, like, well, it's going to happen 3 years from now, but then equally say, like, well, it may never happen. So, I mean,
they probably want to keep Sony guessing a bit, too. Maybe Sony's like, laughing their ass off, and then...
Well,
and
Sony
Microsoft
maybe
just
sitting there being like, what if this is like ultimate play by Microsoft? Here, we're going to upgrade our console, and then Sony's thinking they do, so Sony does it, and then Microsoft doesn't do it, and now Sony's like, oh, or stuff like that. Or
they're like, buy the PlayStation 5.1, and then in 2 years, the 5.2, you added on this and that. I mean, they'd be fucked. I'm just going to lie. Any company that tries to do that shit is going to get fucked over by the casuals and the people that just want to do a normal plug and play. I would much rather shorter console cycles and just get a new one that's and then keep your console that's forward compatible for 5 or 6 years. I'm fine with that. As opposed to like sloppy add-ons. I know there's I got in arguments with people on Twitter today. They're like, yeah, man, I don't want to be held back by Neanderthals. No disk drive, no Blu-ray on the next one, just digital and just an upgradable everything. GPU, CPU, memory. And I'm like, what you want is a PC, friend. And they just don't get it. Like, that's what they're asking for. That's
That's what you want, friend.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like, they don't get that, right? Like, how can if he's talking next backwards compatibility, you obviously need a fucking Blu-ray drive because the majority of people still buy discs.
Yeah.
You know? You have to have it. Like, you're not going to get a fucking discless console next gen because you were going to do backwards compatibility, and that's the way you got to do it. And then they're like,
they still need brick and mortar stores and everything else. There's no way there's not going to be a disc.
They're like maybe they sell them an add-on or two, like the HD DVD. I'm like, God, like, I'm trying to be nice to these people. I get it, right? They're excited. They think that I'm a Neanderthal, like I'm an old man shaking my fist at the sky, right? But that's, you know, like I like what I like, you know, and I think most people like consoles because you fucking take them home, you plug them in, you play your damn games. Simple.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, here's what I'm saying, guys, and I know that PS4 did really well with it this time around because they fed off of Microsoft's hate, but there's no way that the PS3, the PS4, and then the PS5 can be this stale, stagnant, like, console. You come home, you plug it in, and you just wait 7 years for the new one to come out.
I think 5 years should be what people should do.
Well, here's the thing. You say that, but Sony's not going to want. You think Sony's going to want to come out with a new console in 2019 when they're having this success with nothing being done? This is costing them zero money out of pocket every day, and they're making money on the place. Listen, they're not going to want to go for a while. Microsoft has to change their tune, and they are. And by changing this and upgrading it and showing customers more power gradually over the next 3 years, crap, I'm telling you, I think it's appealing to a lot of people, even the casuals. Casual people, listen, a woman who goes in and buys an iPhone, right, and they say, I don't really give a shit about most of this stuff, but the salesman says to the woman, excuse me, miss, would you like this one? It's got a faster processor, and it makes the apps pop up and move a lot faster. Or this one's $100 cheaper, but it's a lot slower. Even the person who's called the casual consumer in the iPhone, they still want the faster processor. My point being is that this is eventually going to bleed down to the masses. And when it does, Microsoft's doing it first this time, and they're doing it smart. They're bleeding to us through the generation.
Let me ask you this, Mooch, right? Because we're assuming that the next generation is going to be 4K, whatever the like that's very small percentage has that right now. We're ready for that. Gaming's not really ready for that. So Sony might, like, let's say Microsoft jumps the gun and they come out with something in 2019, right? Sony doesn't have to do anything because they're getting 1080p on things. You know, like, that's really just an issue, I guess, in like people's minds or whatever. But Sony's probably good to, they could wait a year or two after Microsoft comes out with something, especially if Microsoft decides to come out with something upgradable. And again, this is all ifs. You know, they could wait theoretically and then come out with something just that's 4K ready right out of the box. And
but Sony's not going to allow Microsoft to get any jump start.
That's the whole thing. They're not. Each one of these companies has learned from their oopses the last time. Yeah. Sony's not going to come out late. So if Microsoft's launching in 2019 or 2020, so's PS5.
And they were both, I would assume, be at that point 4K ready for 4K gaming, and probably the average would be 1080-60, right? I mean, you'd have to, I mean, you would figure that would be the thing. And then at the end of the day, no matter what Microsoft does, I mean, how much further ahead can they get? Because the developers aren't going to like having to shoot a moving target across all these fucking platforms, you know? Like, okay, well we got to lose this.
They're not going to have to. As far as the Windows and PC world is concerned, they're only going to have to make one and then another one for PlayStation.
Well, no, they like to do it on, because there's all x86. So you just do minimum spec. Like right now, that's how there's so many games, because they're just going they're going to take the minimum and
I'm just saying, if you said if the next console though happens to be this not upgradable, but this upgraded system, and it can do 4K gaming, you know, per se, it's all if again. They'll make a Windows 10 version which will run on the Xbox and PC, and then they'll just have to make a PlayStation version that's not. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I think Microsoft is setting themselves up very well for the future. I think we have no idea.
Yeah.
Phil said it. Phil's like, I'm not going to give you Phil's like, I'm not giving you exactly. Well, Phil goes, we're not going to give you the roadmap to what we're doing hardware wise.
Yeah.
But you know, we've talked about this for weeks now. Let's just change it over to my favorite subject. Another thing we have going on this weekend. No. My other favorite is the Uncharted beta is going on. And with the Uncharted beta going on, here is a Legion of Doom. Shout out to him on Twitter, @Legion of Doom. He says to me, you, Zaire, and Tim Dog, he says, played 5 minutes of the Naughty Dog Uncharted 4 multiplayer, and Naughty Dog has ruined a decent multiplayer game. You know, here's the thing, guys. It's going live this weekend. If anybody on the panel has played it, please chime in. I have not yet. Me and Crap are planning to. You have?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so talk to us, clowns. What's the good, the bad, and the ugly? Because we're going to do a stream tonight, but we want to hear. It would be really great to hear your insight.
You know, first off, I just want to say, like, my opinion is not coming from like a big Uncharted fan. Like, I think the series is good, but it's not my favorite series kind of thing.
That's a fair
assessment.
So
when I played the multiplayer, I didn't like the third person kind of feel to it. Like, I didn't like the way they did it, and that could just be my opinion. And I didn't like the mythical powers in the multiplayer that I've played in the last one. I thought it was ridiculous. Like, I want like something. I understand that they gotta put stuff from their story in the game or whatever they do, but I don't think it should be like mythical. And I thought some of it was just too mythical for me.
Okay, now
mythical.
Well, yeah, because they do. They have these superpowers that you can get as, you know, earnings as you either rank up or kill streaks or something. Where I think what you're getting to, Clowns, and I played, you know, crap gives me shit for it, but that's why I like to say, like, you know, of course, all I ever talk about, I'm very much an Xbox fan, much more than a PlayStation fan, if you haven't picked up on that yet. But I did play a hell of a lot of The Last of Us multiplayer. That was a very good multiplayer, and there was no magic or, you know, any of this other mythical stuff that Clowns is talking about. Here's the issue, Clowns, and I want the audience to know this. Italian Clowns happens to be a huge fan of The Division that's coming out next week, and that's a third-person type of action, shooting action game. And just so you guys know, you're like, well, Clowns doesn't like it because he's a first-person guy, blah, blah, blah. No, that's bullshit. Guy likes all kinds of games. My problem with the third person in the case of Uncharted in the past, because I have yet to play this one, is the mechanics. There's something going on when they're doing their coding. It feels like when you're running with these characters, it's like their heads down and they're just kind of like trotting along like they have like a huge beer belly gut. They're just like trotting. It doesn't feel crisp and clean. I feel like when you have to stop, you kind of step back a little bit. Then you have to put your gun out. There's a little bit of delay there. I just feel like the mechanics are wonky. Did you get anything with that, Clowns, or did you think this was crisper?
I mean, I felt it was wonky. I felt the aiming was a little wonky, and maybe that's just because the way they did their third person. I don't know, to be honest.
How was the graphical capability? I mean, listen, we're not going to know that we give them shit because they give us shit, but, you know, 900p, 1080p, kiss my ass, whatever it is. But did you notice that there was any kind of did you think it was graphically, like, amazing to your eyes? How did it compare to, like, say, maybe I'm going to get, you know, poked at for this one, or pinned back for this one, but how did it compare to, like, the Halo 5 multiplayer, graphically, color-wise, etc.?
Halo 5 is like, to me, more colorful because they're armor suits. I thought, like, in comparison to that, Uncharted is more realistic in the kind of feel. And I mean, like, you know, they do a good job with the graphics. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I love Last of Us, and the graphics are great in Uncharted 4.
Okay, so you thought the multiplayer looked pretty good. It was visually
stunning. That was only 900p, bro. It should be dog shit at that resolution.
That's correct. That is also correct.
Am I wrong, or is that just crap being crap? Come on.
No, you have the whole internet and Twitter and any social media behind you crap with that comment.
Okay, exactly.
That's what Dino Gaff would say. Whatever the gaffers when they say, "Oh, it's not." Yeah. So
has Digital Foundry done their little test on that yet?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hey, you know what they did test was Heavy Rain on PS4, the remaster, and it dropped down to like 18 frames per second a lot, and they didn't even cover that. They failed to like mention it.
Wow.
I guess it took another site to kind of bring that into light. But I just think that's kind of funny when people are like, you know, they're perfectly fine, or you know, they're not biased.
Well, there's a reason why a lot of people call NeoGAF Sony Gaff lately. So
yeah,
I mean, Digital Foundry is panders to Sony fanboys.
Well, it's like their left arm.
Look, I think I mentioned this before. I'd have no problem with Digital Foundry existing if it was just to report, like, these are the specs, these are the resolution, this is the frame rate. But they always fucking have to put in their 2 cents about, like, reasons why, and they don't, like you said, like Heavy Rain, a perfect case. Why not cover it? Because either they know it's bad and they don't want, you know, like, I don't know, but I thought somebody told me the PS4 only does 1080p. So you're saying Uncharted's only 900? How are the Sony fans taking that news?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
They sweep it under the rug.
Oh wait,
they're riding their ponies into the sunset.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? Remember when everybody was enjoying The Witness because everybody thought it was 1080p, and then all of a sudden it was 900?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, Yeah, I think it's like what we always said. You can't really see resolution. I know some people will say that they can, and maybe there are select few.
I mean,
but
I'm gonna be honest with you, Rand. Like, Inferno, he can spot it like right on. Like
I can spot frame rate like instantly. So I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that can like spot like.
Are you talking about the P's?
Yeah, I mean, Inferno can spot textural differences like on a rock, like out of nowhere. He'll just be like, "Oh, that's not full 1080p."
I guess I'm just not looking at the background of games.
I wish I had those kind of eyes, man.
Like if I'm just playing, I'm like, look at that! You see that mountain in the background? Look at the anti-aliasing technique they're using with the Jaggers over on the hill. I'd be like, bro, I'm kind of like focused on the actual game. I don't really.
But I mean,
at 60
it's like I'm getting my ass shot off right here. You really think I give a fuck about the blue sky right now?
In all fairness, though, I mean, like he's really good at it. He's
don't
got
get me
an
wrong.
eye for it.
Okay, you're talking about one person out of how many people are in here right now talking about it? One person out of 7.
I don't know the difference. I mean, look, what is it? Battlefront was 720p. It looked like 1080p to me. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. You know, in Rand's point, I don't know if anyone picked up. Rand's point was part of sarcasm.
Yeah,
he was trying to.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying.
No, he's a pony. He needs to go play on the PS4.
South, where's your safety belt, brother? Where's your safety belt?
Hey, I'm here, right? I'm here. No harm, no foul.
You know, I mean, but the thing is, though, to be honest with you, that's a logical concern, isn't it? Everyone picks and makes fun of everything in the world the Xbox does wrong. Sony's flagship, delayed 5 times game, the game you gotta have, you gotta own, it's the best in the world, 900p. What's wrong, people? Let me tell you what's wrong. Ready, crap? Plug your ears because you're tired of hearing it. This is Neil Druckmann's Naughty Dog, people. You are not getting the game.
The Skeleton Crew.
I feel like I've heard that like a couple times now by now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Neil Druckmann's Uncharted, people.
Tonight on The Mooch is Right, I'll tell you, honest to God, it really is a problem, though, people. It really is a problem. And the thing is, though, guess what? NeoGAF and Digital Foundries and the Internet and Boogie and Boogie's Nights and all these other people.
Boogie's Nights.
You know Boogie's Nights.
And Boogie's Funyuns.
Is that kind of like the Mooch's Maniacs or what?
Yeah, except they're just...
Okay.
They can't chase us. But, like, the thing is
they could probably chase me.
You know, I mean, why this bullshit?
I challenge Boogie to a race. I'd probably win.
Oh, I got money on crap. Yeah, I got money on crap. I think this is bullshit that we never get to see the other side of the coin. I'm looking forward to trying it tonight. Listen, I'm going to enjoy Uncharted despite its graphical whatever. I don't care if it's 900p, 1080p, 1330p. I don't give a shit. My whole point is that that's not going to matter. I'm going to be very skeptical, and I'm not going to judge Naughty Dog, nor am I going to judge Uncharted 4 story off of the multiplayer either. Because
Mooch, hold on a second. You can't be unprofessional because you run an Xbox-centric podcast and you can't give the competition any credit.
That's
so
correct.
You better stop that right now.
So I might as well just shit on it from the get-go.
Yes. Yes. You can't give them any credit. All right?
I will keep all the credit aside. You know, so keeping with graphical capabilities. So I just caught this before the show went on. I wanted to get into the Division because the Division's coming out Tuesday. Everybody's got to be pretty excited about that. And the Division is going to be getting, apparently at release, a graphical upgrade. Have you guys heard about this? There is an update coming out, I believe, on Tuesday. When you either pop your disc in or activate, you will get an update. And they've worked on a lot of things. A lot of the nighttime lighting, a lot more of the reflections off mirrors, windows, cars. They said that the street lights that flickered on and off are going to have more, a little bit more action, more lifelike, a lot more life coming to the game. And then I wrote to the developer. I haven't got anything back yet, but I asked him if this meant that any implementation of DX12 may have come into play here.
Well, I can't confirm there hasn't been a title update as of yet.
Okay. I agree with that because I heard it was not going to be released. The update won't be released till Tuesday. So
yeah, I'm assuming probably around Saturday, Sunday, probably because they said everything's gonna go live Australia. So Australia's like a day ahead of us. So yeah. I'm assuming sometime Sunday is when everything will go live.
Hey,
okay.
South,
yes, sir.
Since you have a small little connection over there with those guys, can you ask them why no reviews can be done until it's released. That kind of worries me, brother.
Well, what it is they want to even the playing field. It seems like a lot of, and I can't speak for anybody, but a lot of these devs are going that direction.
I was gonna say clowns.
They don't want to steer anybody's opinion prior to release, especially because this specifically is an online only title. So if you get on and there's only 5 people playing, you're like, man, this game sucks. I can't even play with nobody. Well, you don't have that many people that have it in their hands, so they don't want to kind of stagger the release.
I've also noticed that reviews, clowns, for the most part, I think we're almost at 90% now, are all doing reviews on the day of release or the embargo releases, because you do see a few do it where they allow it to come out, the weekend ahead early, this and that. But I've noticed big titles that are all great, getting 9 and 9.5s out of 10, are all doing very, very well as far as ratings, and they're being released. The embargo lifts on the day of release. So I don't think that's not the warning sign we used to see a few years back. That's what I'm saying. The industry's changing, everybody. Like the stuff that we've known and done, even up to the past year, things change all the time, and it's exciting because if you're a YouTuber or a Twitter person or anything like that, or even just interested in following people on YouTube or Twitter, what's nice about clicking on that social app and being a part of these communities is things are ever growing. They are evolving. So it's fun to have this. I look at it that way. I'm a techie kind of guy. I really like that. There's a reason I like to get the iPhones when the new generations come out. There's a reason I like to go get the new TVs when they come out. TV's a little bit different. You wait a couple years till the price comes down a little. But I finally got a 4K TV. It is beautiful. It looks great. Things like that are fun. And that's the beauty of this. And clowns, your point is well taken, because that was the first thing I used to say 2 years ago all the time. Whenever I used to see reviews are coming out the day of launch, I was like, this game sucks. Fuck it. It's going to be a 7 at best. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's because they're scared. They want people to go buy it before that. But I got to say, Southbound is 100% right. You go and you start doing reviews where it's only the few select that got the game early, and then the media. There's not enough people in this huge world to exist, so it still feels empty and cold. And that can affect the way that the developers want you to get an impact when you play the game. So
because they want you to jump in a division and there's a million people playing it, and it's just chaos. You know what I mean? They don't want you to be walking down whatever Central Park and there's like nobody in there but the fucking birds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but you have the game, Sop, but you can't even play it. You got 5 copies sitting there just staring at you like, play me, and they won't let you. They won't let you play.
It's killing me.
Did you see
I don't have that many. I don't have that many copies anymore. But
that's what I wanted to ask though. Like the ones that got digital codes, right? Like the reviewers that got digital codes, are they playing their digital ones right now?
No, you need to be whitelisted, man. You need to be whitelisted to play if you're gonna play. Similar to Halo 5, we got Halo 5. Like it's similar to Halo 5. So Halo 5, if you got it early, you to give them your gamer tag so you could play online, right? You could play multiplayer. If your gamer tag wasn't listed, you couldn't play. You could play the single player, but you couldn't play the multiplayer. Similar situation with the Division. You actually have to give them your IP address to be able to play. But then they're wiping the servers.
Actually, you know what, Rand? That is not exactly correct.
It's not exactly correct.
See, this is what worries me, though. Like, you said that you can't do the reviews until release date because they want a fair review of everybody to be online on the servers. But, so there are people getting online now playing, like reviewers that are playing right now.
I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't say reviewers, but I'm sure there's developers on right now, making sure that everything's running smooth.
The silence is like...
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, did I just cut out?
He just, dropped a bombshell.
Well, I mean, I'm very excited to get into the Division. I'm planning on launching it 12:01, the whole 9 like everybody else. Hopefully it doesn't crash.
But I get the the fear that Italian has, because normally if you're proud of your game, right?
Yeah.
And you see this all the time. If Microsoft's proud of their game or Sony's proud of their game, they will allow the review embargo to be up, a few days beforehand, right? Because they want press to know. They want everybody to get their stories about how great this is. Like, if Sony were to come out and be like, Uncharted reviews are up the day of, I would be like, Sony's a little cautious of Uncharted. But normally the Uncharted reviews are like a week before, 4 days before, 3 days before, right?
Yeah, like Microsoft sends out the Forza reviews can happen a week before the game release.
Exactly.
They know they're going to be good.
And the Halo reviews were a few days before, and Ori reviews.
So
right?
then you guys also have to take into consideration that they just had 3 different betas in the last month.
Right, but here's the thing.
So people already have their idea whether they're going to buy it or not.
But Division is using the Destiny excuse, because Destiny did this, right? Where like we can't, for these reviewers to properly review the game, they have to play it like as a normal person would. But then like when you actually play Destiny, it's like it doesn't matter if the world's populated, because it's like who cares? Like the only time you really see people is when you go to the tower. Like it was just an excuse because they knew that Destiny was going to get shitted on. Like we all thought that it was going to be the second coming of Christ.
I fucking bought that game. I was so excited.
Right. So did I. I was pumped. Yeah. And then like everyone's like, oh, the reviews come out. No, okay, I get it. Reviewers have to play the game like everybody else. Fine. And then we're all fucking hoodwinked because same thing with the Division. So that, like what Clowns is saying is kind of true. It's like, are they hiding the fact that they think reviewers are going to knock this game? So they're using the Destiny excuse of like, look, like because by the time the reviewers play the game Monday or Tuesday with everybody, they're not going to have their reviews. Even if they play it for 20 hours straight, they're not going to have reviews ready until Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And by that time, the majority of the sales already took place because people want to play the new shit. So I'm kind of very cautious myself
now. Here's the thing, though. The reason I say to put your shields down slightly, Rand, everything you said is right. Listen, remember, Destiny did 1 beta, I believe, correct?
They did an alpha on the PlayStation, and they did the beta on both.
And they had
this has had an alpha, a closed beta, and an open beta, and everybody basically played the whole fucking first 3 days. Listen, this has been out there. IGN's has been allowed into Ubisoft. They've done their IGN first for a month and a half now. I mean, everything's under microscope. The developers have come out, and just every week they put out a 10 to 15-minute clip of what's coming and more stuff, and they actually show gameplay. They showed the skills trees and things. My point is this: there's no way. Look, you either like this game now or you don't.
Everybody pretty much has a good idea whether they like it or not.
Tuesday to review.
But what do you need? Like, my question is, like, just like Destiny, what do you need other people for to be able to review that game, right? Like, with Destiny, you didn't need other people running around.
Because you can only play with 2 other people anyway.
Right, but the same thing with the Division. What do you need other people in the world for? Because if you party up and do your own stuff, when you go into...
The Dark Zone, Zone.
Okay,
don't forget.
I understand that's it. But that's the same thing about multiplayer. So you populate the Dark Zone with fucking employees of Ubisoft or some shit. People have been doing this for years.
You know what, Rand? I'm sick of your shit, bro. You just need to go to PlayStation. You're killing my vibe, bro.
Game, Sal. It's a multi-platform game.
South, where's that safety belt, South?
Hey, here's the thing. This game is going to get trashed by critics probably, just probably for not having a bunch of content is what they'll say. Same reasons why Destiny did. But look at how many people still love Destiny and just grind on that shit. There's something attractive about these type of games.
Oh, yeah, it's the moment mentality, man. People
it's like
addicted to that shit.
And this is lame as shit to do this comparison, but it's like Netflix came out with Fuller House, right? The critics hated that shit, but what did the fans think? Like, they fucking loved it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what
the fans loved.
You mean you watched it, crap?
Fuck off.
You watched it? Hold on a second. Wait. You paused your Simpsons fucking marathon to watch Fuller House?
Yes, dude. It's good. It's good.
It is. It was good. I'm not gonna lie.
So you sat in front of your TV and
I did. I
watched 13 episodes.
Hey, Crab was the TGIF Friday kid. Holy shit.
I was.
Hey, so was I, man.
I loved it. You know what? I
hated those fucking shows.
Oh, I love them.
That was my favorite show.
Dinosaurs, Step by Step.
Good call, man. What was the one with the Winslows? That was even funny as hell.
That was Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Then it just turned into like a sci-fi Urkel show. Like at first it was like a family sitcom, and then it was like Urkel.
Hey, I was more of a Small Wonders type of dude. You know what I mean?
Oh,
is that how that is?
Isn't that with the girl that's like a robot?
Yeah, Vicky. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Wow, this podcast took a strange turn.
Sorry, I was just saying, like sometimes games get bad reviews, but they're really good.
Crap was more of a Blossom guy.
Crap. Tell me you watched Elf, man.
I did, man. I love that show.
Hell yeah.
I did. I grew up. And you know what's funny is because I'm a big Simpsons fan. Like some of the main writers for the Simpsons were from Alf, so it was like they had a lot of that.
Alf.
Like, yeah. They had a lot of those same like kind of like little like in jokes. It's like I got it. Like I grew up with that stuff. You know, I was
But
born
Family Matters and stuff like that.
Yeah, all that stuff.
TGIF Friday.
Dude, I'll tell you, man, TV back then was so great. You guys are just saying Alf, man. That was hysterical, and they
That
ended it.
show was
so
great.
I wish if they would have brought that back. It won't work now. But.
Yeah, but you know that nothing will. Like In Living Color, I like that show. Like, and
That
you couldn't
great.
get away with that show this day because those guys were making fun of gays and like, you know what I'm saying? Just like everything
Well,
was just a stereotype.
like my man Z would say, it was coonery. Really.
I can't say that, but yeah, you know, it was great. I love that show. Like,
He said I can't say that. Yeah, because you're the racist. Because you're the racist.
Exactly. Here I am in this podcast, and I do other podcasts, but yeah, I'm like, I must hate everybody, guys, huh? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm weird.
No, but I mean, like getting back to what's at hand. I mean, I think the days of we've said this for months now. That really the technical review is really irrelevant at this point, isn't it? I mean, it's really just about like YouTubers say or your friends. No one really cares if IGN gives something. Like, let's be honest, right? IGN is going to give No Man's Sky an 8.
It's getting a 10.
Or a 10. I was trying to be nice.
No, that shit's getting a 10. I guarantee it.
You know, and that game's gonna suck, dude.
$60.
It's terrible.
But you know, it's gonna be so fun to get your super glue out and make that little spaceship. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Dude, Mooch, did you happen to like? Sorry for like changing the subject, but I just saw this. So okay, so we know EA is out of E3, right?
Yeah.
We know Activision's out, right?
Yeah.
So today Disney dropped out.
Yeah.
And
oh wow.
And
Who
also
dropped out?
Disney
also
and Wargaming dropped out too.
Dropped out too, yeah.
So this looks like it
are
might
we
be
gonna start
the
playing
end.
taps?
This looks like this might be the end for E3. Like, because it says here, like, Disney's looking to do a similar event to EA's now. I could see this.
Yeah, but they have their little D23 thing in Anaheim.
Right, but I mean,
year.
like, I think this is like if you have the major publishers dropping out of E3 like this, let's not mince words here. Like EA's the biggest publisher, and like Activision, even though they don't publish,
they'll still be there though, right? Probably to do like stuff on Microsoft and Sony.
Well, yeah,
stages.
I mean, Activision already said they'll be there on Sony stage, but
if these companies are all, I'm confused by all this messaging. Everyone's like, well, they're not going to be there, and then I went out and I said something on one of the podcasts. I'm like, oh, they're not going to be like, no, they're going to be there. They're just not going to have a booth. Like, frankly, I don't give a shit if they have a booth. Like, if they do a stage presence, that's all that matters for E3. That's what the media covers. The media doesn't cover Jimmy with, like, his second row of hygiene, braces playing a game. He doesn't give a shit what the fuck those kids are doing on the floor. My whole point is like, if they're there, they're there. They don't have to actually be with games on the floor. They just need to be on stage. I mean, you guys don't feel that way? I feel like E3 is a show. I don't really care if they have a booth with a puppet show and a lemonade stand.
Take-Two is going to be there with something big.
But you got to realize what E3 used to be was a retail show. Retailers would go there, get like the vibe of what upcoming products, so they can kind of like figure out what they wanted to order and how many copies of certain things they wanted to get to. But it's changed over the years to now it's more of like a fan thing. I mean, even last year, like I think the first time fans were really allowed into the whole thing. So now,
Right.
So now, and it's always like, it costs a shit ton of money to like run a booth at this stuff. So now some of these developers are like, do we need to constantly do E3? Where EA's like, you know what? We could do our own event and have fans come check us out regardless. Activision's like, we'll just have our stuff on Sony's stage or whoever's, ponying up the money to get the rights for it. Disney's big enough where they're like, we'll do the fucking same thing. It's only a matter of time before Ubisoft's like, fuck it, we're doing the same thing too, and then eventually there is no more E3.
Well, they tried that before too, and then they're like, nobody's talking about our shit. I remember that.
Yeah,
like they switched the venues and everything.
But this time, like, EA's thing is like, that's Sunday, right? Or Saturday. But I don't know, like, I love E3. I love watching it every year. Like, so the fact that like you can start seeing the dominoes drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, is kind of just concerning to me.
It is. You know what? Because this is the thing, right? Like, I watch it, like, even at home, and then you watch, the Microsoft one, and then that goes into the EA one, to the Ubisoft one, and then that night you get that Sony one. It's cool. I look forward to that. And now the EA one won't be there. It's kind of that kind of sucks. And
tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, no, they're still doing their pressers. They're just not having booths at the convention center.
Their pressers, like, I think on Saturday. No, it's
yeah,
on
they
Sunday.
have their
it's on
own
Sunday
thing
now.
going.
It's on Sundays before Bethesda's, I think.
Some of these
after
people
Bethesda's.
could be doing this to avoid Nintendo hardware reveal, because that potentially could steal the show. But then again, I said the same thing when they were going to show off the Wii U, and they didn't even show the fucking console, and people were like, "What the hell?" I think
it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I don't think it's as. I mean, I know I postulated that on one of the episodes that it was about Nintendo, and I was told it's absolutely 100% nothing to do with Nintendo.
No,
there's other reasons.
It all comes down to money, really.
Money. I was told it was money and politics.
Isn't E3 like the last big thing of like a dinosaur? Isn't it like a dying dinosaur?
Well, yeah, I mean, because originally, like I said, what it was for retailers to come in, check out the upcoming products, and determine how many they wanted to buy, essentially.
But it's still the largest way to get to hardcore gamers.
It is. So, I would assume, like, if E3 fell by the wayside, Microsoft would just do their own thing too.
Like Nintendo Directs or something.
Yeah, or
they would
run
PSX.
They would run some sort of fan fest conference thing where they would have a bunch of fans.
Take the Xbox Surface on tour. Like the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember how the Xbox One van?
I went to that. I did. They did it here. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they did it here also. A couple times.
Yeah, like they had to, because people were hating that damn thing. They were like, that thing sucks. They still say that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, get over it already. Fuck. Hate people. Sorry.
Nice crap. Shout out to the 254 people listening. That's great. So, crap, your timing's awesome. Well, we say E3, I don't know, people keep saying to me all the time, all day today, they're like, E3's dying. I don't know, I don't think it's dying. I think that, Sony did something drastic when they neglected Gamescom, then they started PSX, and now Microsoft may be doing something in their spring all the time, what we saw just last week, but they may expand upon it, they may not.
Wait, just real quick. Wouldn't you guys like I like the Nintendo Directs. I wouldn't mind Microsoft doing something like that, like pre-recorded, where they could get their fucking message out ahead of time, maybe like a half-hour show or something. They could have done that to showcase upcoming games, and then.
Well, no, they've asked Phil about that. He doesn't like that because he likes the conference and like the fans and the response you get to the immediate reaction and stuff. I don't like the Nintendo Directs because I don't like Nintendo regardless. I mean, yeah. So to me,
they're kind of rough because the English is kind of bad sometimes. No, wait, no, I mean that in like.
Oh man, cold-blooded.
But I mean, that just shows. I mean, it's Nintendo. I mean, let's face facts. Nintendo's irrelevant. They have been this whole.
I love Nintendo. Stop.
They're irrelevant though, man, and you
know
this.
Are you gonna download that thing on your phone for those amiibo things and whatnot, and all that cool Miiverse?
And if they don't show up, if the NX is launching this year and they don't show up with an actual press conference at E3 this year and show that shit off, if they just keep it to a direct, there even be more fucking, useless.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit. I mean, you remember when they revealed like that Legend of Zelda game for like GameCube and the Twilight, and people just freaked the fuck out? Yeah. That's the thing that's missing. Is like last year was one of the best Microsoft press conferences, right? I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, especially in comparison to the later years on the 360 when it was all a bunch of Kinect trash.
And they had Usher come out there and the Skittles. Hey, Skittles!
You actually had people fucking cheering Microsoft.
Yeah.
And I think everybody at Microsoft, took appreciation of that fact.
Hey, I thought the last two were good, and that's how Mooch got into podcasting, because I was like, nobody else at BGST would back my play that was a fucking amazing podcast 2 years ago. And I said, fuck, I'm going to get this dude that's like all up on our ass on BGST all the time, and I was like, this guy will back my play.
I got to put my camouflage makeup away after that.
Yeah, I was like, hey, hop in this podcast with me, and then Warrior Wart never was like, holy shit, Crap Gamer he's doing podcasts by himself with this guy that stalks BGST. And I was like, yeah, man, but look, because it was good. It was great, I thought. Their shows the last 2 years have been great. Keep it on the games.
And that's what Nintendo's missing is that response from their fans. Like, it'd be cool, like to have Nintendo there and show this shit off and show off the new Zelda and actually have immediate reaction from their fans, like screaming because, they want a new Zelda, a new Metroid. But it's kind of just stupid and just like these little fucking dumb videos they do,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm, But then again, their target audience seems to be the 35-year-old male who will buy a fucking doll for his collection. So.
Oh man, fuck. Is that a shot?
Oh man! Shots fired. Hey, where's the soundboard? Come on, I want to hear some shotgun blast.
Yeah, we don't have any.
We don't have one. We have. Hold on. We have.
That wasn't a shot at anybody. I'm just saying, like,
know.
Nintendo's like whole strategy is like, we're gonna sell you a doll for our video game stuff, and it's a doll for 30-year-old guys who love Nintendo. It's essentially what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but look, I ain't gonna fucking say that I got that. Never mind. Go ahead. Because people think I'm weird enough already.
Well, I mean, you think that this is a trend? I don't think E3 is a massive.
I think if there is no E3, the fucking industry's in trouble. Like, I already think that. Like, I think that I worry about this a little bit because if you look at the reason that the market crashed in '83, it's a lot of people like to label it to one thing, but there's a lot of reasons, and a lot of them are similar to things going on now. There was a lot of software out, like we have now, like indies and stuff, even though that's physical. Digital, and back then it was physical, but a lot of bad software was out back then, and we're getting a lot of that now. Not only that, but people didn't understand why Atari was like, you need to buy this new Atari system. And people were like, but we just bought this one, 4 or 5 years ago. Why do we need to get a new one? So people like refused to upgrade it. And then all the bad games, it was like miss after miss after miss after miss. And it was just like so many bad games going on. And that's kind of what contributed to it. And that seems like something that's kind of going on now. Games are becoming so expensive. We're getting less AAA games. It's like we all talk about more powerful hardware, but we're not getting any games to play on that more powerful hardware. We're getting fucking No Man's Sky. You know what I mean? Qbert rebooted. Remastered Dead Island 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting anything to warrant the new hardware we got, so why fucking worry about getting something even better?
Dude, are you not excited for a remaster of Dead Island 1 and 2?
No.
No. I think I saw Mooch said he wanted to play that.
No, I said I'm not going to get it because I played 1 and it's actually 1 in Riptide.
Yeah,
and
I have Riptide, but I never played
it. Riptide sucked.
Riptide sucked.
Man, it was bad.
Riptide is
real
booty.
Bad.
It is real booty. That's Techland's B team. I know Techland does a lot of good work, but man, you can really tell a difference from their A team and their B team.
I just remember being that rapper in the first one, and I was just like going around clubbing shit, and I like that first
voodoo,
one.
Bitch.
Yeah, the voodoo. Yeah, that was it, man. I was like, I'm this motherfucker, man. He goes around smacking people, and I was like, yeah, that's me.
I mean, it was good. I thought they were good. I mean, heck, we wouldn't have Dying Light if those weren't successes. So, but to answer Rand's question, when that came out, I saw it. I did contemplate it, but the only remaster in 2016 I'm willing to buy is the BioShock one. That's about it. But
I wish they would just do BioShock Infinite remaster because that was one of my all-time favorite games.
Well, Infinite was definitely up there for me, but I would say BioShock 1 was my favorite.
You know what, though? I don't like horror games, and that people said that's more of a horror game. I liked how BioShock was just kind of this world, and and I also liked the girl in it. Like, she couldn't get hurt, which I really dug because she could help you out and stuff like that. So I just thought it was really cool. And I actually beat that on PlayStation 3 and on Xbox 360. I liked it so much. So.
Well, I tell you, the first BioShock, yes, it does it, but it's not creepy or horror like the games that are out now that are creepy and horror. It was that scary kind of just like it was just how do I put it? The scenario, the situation where it was creepy, but it wasn't scary by no means.
Yeah. I remember that was a pretty big game when it came out because it was an Xbox 360 exclusive for like a year. Back when Microsoft used to do that, they were like, "Hey, let's get something, lock it down for a year." And back then, that was all that mattered. Once you had something for a year, you were associated with that. Like
that's what I was saying to you on Xbox Nation crap, was that's how times are changing so much, because you said, oh, back when they used to do that. They just did it in November.
Yeah, I don't see Phil doing that too much anymore.
But it doesn't work, you know? It doesn't work. So, I mean, why would he waste money doing that?
Yeah, I guess.
That's my shtick on it. But, I mean, I think that, like, myself personally, let's see this. We all know Phil wants to have a bigger portfolio. He wants to have more IPs in his name. That's what he's going for. And, I mean, that's the future for the next 3 or 4 years where we're going to go. Look, Sony can't buy a company. Look, they bought Street Fighter V. What did they buy? That was like a flip book. They didn't buy shit, dude.
They bought the reviews on Metacritic.
Yeah,
why, the Metacritic views are positive?
Oh, yeah, they were ridiculous, dude. And then, on top of it, some of the reviews went on to say, oh, but we didn't get to check out the multiplayer because it wasn't active.
I thought it was all multiplayer. I thought there was no, like, versus mode. And
they had so many excuses.
Am I confused? Or
when they were called out on
I don't know. I didn't buy the game, so I have no clue.
No, they had excuses when they were called out on it, the reviewers.
Oh, really?
Huh. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question. What do you guys? I know we talked about this on Xbox Nation, but what do you guys think about Quantum Break having to stream the cutscenes or the videos instead of installing with the game?
I think I would root to stream them, right? What's the negative on the streaming end of it?
I don't think
no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't think there is a negative, but I do hear obviously people are bitching a little bit, like, well, what if you don't have good internet, or what if you just want to play the single player offline or whatever, like.
Well, we talked about this on TXR, and I got blasted by somebody in the comments, so I'm just going to refrain from saying anything because...
what? You should get out there and just start fucking moshing, dude. You can't be worried about what motherfuckers think. I don't care what any of these people in the chat box think. They can all get the fuck out.
I'm actually being a smart ass, but it was just funny because I was just saying, I thought that this, TV show, whatever series that they got going on, coinciding with it, I thought it was just kind of like a shoehorn into the story, and it was just an add-on. Like, I don't think that it impacts the gameplay whatsoever. And someone's like, shut up, man, what the fuck are you talking about? It was perfect. It's supposed to be for that game. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, whoa, yeah. Calm down, buddy.
I'm going to be honest. It doesn't bother me, the streaming, at all, but I have FiOS, so my internet's pretty damn quick, like 75 up, 75 down. But I have a buddy that lives out in the middle of nowhere in bumfuck Kentucky, right? And he's got Comcast out there, and they rate limit him on how many gigabytes he could download per month. So for someone like him, it could
listen. I've been there. I've been there.
I was too. I had a limit too. So I mean, the streaming thing, I think is pretty good. I might just do that because apparently this is such a large file because there's 40 different scenarios because it changes on what you pick. So I just think that the idea behind it, I guess, is a good kind of idea. But some people assume because that thing is like 44 gigs that had the scenes or whatever in there, and I guess not. So
wait, so if you download it, you'll end up taking this extra, download space up, of course, on your hard drive
space.
Yada yada. But the pro to it is, it looks like when the cutscene hits, it'll be instantaneous, right? Versus a loading screen, probably a pinwheel will spin.
Probably a buffer.
Versus how they did it in fucking Master Chief Collection. Remember, you did those terminals that would load up the Halo channel.
I hated that because
but let me ask you guys a question because I mean, like there is a lot of people that have like a rated internet system or limited or whatever. But has any of you ever looked at your console and how much broadband usage it takes up?
I look every month to see what I.
Holy shit!
I look every month to see what I download.
Hey, if I was metered, I would be cut off like the first day.
Yeah,
that's why 100% digital gaming will never take off here because
mine was 150 gigs a month until recently.
I was doing like 300 gigs a month, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not downloading porn or anything. What
whenever
the
you stream,
going on?
look, whenever you stream YouTube, whenever you stream Netflix, that all counts against a cap because it's data. Yeah. So yeah, that does it right there. But did you guys just real quick as well? I'm looking at this. It looks like the next Call of Duty is Call of Duty Bloodline. I don't know. I was hoping for Modern Warfare 4.
So it's new.
I was hoping to go back to Modern Warfare.
So it's not Ghost and it's not Modern Warfare, so it's Bloodline.
Yeah, right. And I'm not. I just pray it's not a fucking futuristic game.
Well, I'd like to just do an initial shout out and thank whoever it is, Infinity World. You saved me $65 again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the first time ever. I will not.
I didn't buy.
I did buy Black Ops 3, right? And it was the stupidest campaign I ever saw. I didn't know what was going on. I just beat it because I spent money, and me and my brother were like, "Let's go ahead and play through the fucking campaign and do it just to get it over with." The multiplayer is garbage. Yeah, it's just.
So wait, so what is there any more information on this?
No, it just says rumor on M4G that the next Call of Duty is dubbed Bloodline.
It just doesn't sound like it's going back.
Bloodline almost sounds like a fucking compilation of Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty Bloodline, like from like.
Yeah, maybe it's like Frost or something. Maybe
okay,
it's there,
hold on. It says the source that told you Nintendo would release a Pokemon game that utilized a full 3D engine turned out to be Pokemon X and Y. Told you that there would be a new type of Pokemon game. Blah blah blah. Let's see, what else is this going to say? Activision, they're the same people that say that this is going to be called Bloodlines, and they're going to bring the new Skylanders to the Nintendo NX, and the next Call of Duty will be called Bloodlines in fall 2016. And then it says in 2017, the company will team up with Platinum Games to launch Spider-Man: The First Avenger, which will tie into the new movie. Yeah, so that's interesting.
It is interesting, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, myself personally, Call of Duty, unless something like they said, where we go back, if we go back to either Modern Warfare or we go back to World War II or something, if that doesn't happen, I'm pretty much out. And I think, I know numbers.
Well, what if it ties into like Captain Price or Soap McTavish? Well, no, Soap died, didn't he? I mean, what if it's one of them, like their kids or something like that?
Maybe EA knew about this, and that's why they feel confident launching Titanfall 2 this year against it. Or something.
Right. Now that can be confirmed. It is actually coming out.
I mean,
the
CFO of EA was pretty much said like Mass Effect.
But he could have been talking about quarters.
He said he talked about quarters this year. I mean, he didn't mince words. He's like Battlefield and
Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2 were coming out in Q3 for them, which is Q4 for us. And then he was like, and by the way, Jamie Moran, Mass Effect, just want to let you know, delayed to next year.
He already seen that yesterday, and we got the
because the CEO directly addressed Jamie Moran in his thing and told him like Mass Effect was coming next year. Like, I've never seen that before.
He's like, I see your gifts, brother, and I'm sorry, but you know what? We're perfecting it for
Stop
you.
Messaging me. It'll come when it's come. It'll be ready when it's ready.
Stop the gift packages. It's coming, but next year.
That's when all the Mass Effect games will be backwards compatible on the Xbox One as well.
Indeed, they will.
Makes sense.
Be good.
Makes sense.
The only one worth playing is second and third one because the first one is not very good.
I like the first one.
The second one was my favorite.
Third,
the ending killed it. Oh my god, it actually broke my heart.
I think I might be one of the only ones that was like he's indoctrinated, so it didn't matter what the ending was.
I thought the same thing, man, and they kept on fucking saying that ending was terrible. What are you gonna choose?
Horrible.
Fucking the red one, the fucking green one, or the blue one? Like
green.
Thank you for making my choices in this 3 epic part series matter at the end.
Yeah, I played this game for 6 years, building up my character, and killing people, smashing broads and everything else, and I gotta follow some little kid. You gotta do this.
It's not even the fucking ending. It's the fact that they used a goddamn fucking Deus Machina fucking child who fucking knows all at the very end. Like, really? You're really falling into that sci-fi trope of some fucking all-knowing being explaining things to you at the very end? Fucking get out of here.
Yeah. I really like it.
Hey, Jamie just responded to you on Twitter.
I really liked Mass Effect 3. I thought it was awesome, and then, the ending was kind of, it was kind of meh. But still, that didn't discount the fun that I had with the entire series or the game. I thought it was pretty great. Like, a lot of people were just like, that ending really, they didn't really land that ending, but still fun.
Well, with that, I got everybody together tonight at 5:00 Eastern Time versus 6 because I have an event to go to with the family at 7:00. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you for
what? Jerry Lewis got a show tonight or what?
Well, we actually you gave me a good segue there. Me and Crap are going to be on. It's tentatively 10 o'clock. We'll be tweeting it out. We are going to be Twitch broadcasting from the oh god, it hurts to say it. The PlayStation 4.
We're gonna be in the multiplayer beta.
The multiplayer beta for Uncharted. We're gonna give it a shot. I can't wait to. You're gonna get my live commentary, and trust me, it'll be colorful. I think it's. I'm gonna keep my spirits up because I'm an Uncharted fan.
Is Yoshida playing with you guys?
You know what? He is a close personal friend of mine, so I'll ask.
All right.
Yes, that's true. Could you ask him? I'll be wearing a kimono.
I know you got that Sony Ericsson phone, ready to direct line.
Hey,
it's a flip phone.
Can you download Uncharted and play it with me later? South?
Actually, Clowns, I was going to hit you up and see if you want, because the Twitch broadcast can have everybody on, so I was going to hit you up too.
Yeah, because Twitch can do what Microsoft don't.
Oh, low blow. Come on.
Oh, crap.
Someone get Crap a Snickers, man.
Hey, I seen that picture before, like, people send me that and shit. They're like, man,
Listen,
Crap, you're so depressed.
Crap, I want you as positive as possible, so I want you to watch 2 hours of Fuller House before we broadcast.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this much, all right? Like Stephanie on that show blossomed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's why they call it Fuller House, man.
Yeah, exactly. She's got herself some Steve Harveys too, man. Them things are fucking bright. You know what I mean? Them fucking teeth. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Steve Harvey. Southbound, thank you for fighting LA traffic to be here. Clowns, always good to have you. Rand, do me a favor, buddy. Can we get a count? Where are you at? 980 what?
Still the same as I 987,000.
All right.
Some numbers.
He's slowing it down.
You know what? He's been on 15 podcasts this week. He can't game anymore. Honestly, I'm gonna have to tape his mouth shut or sew it shut or some shit so he can actually fucking play.
His nickname should be Comcast. He's throttling his own progression.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
You know what? His education is holding him back from gaming. That's what the problem is.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're educating the public. Thanks for doing that, Rand. We all appreciate it.
I'm doing a public service. What do you
And we're not talking about corner work either.
Listen, everybody here is getting, South, we know you already have it. Everybody is getting the division. We'll probably, is anyone playing it at midnight on Monday, or are we all waiting till Tuesday? What's the word on the street?
I'll be playing it.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing it.
I might hop
you guys
on.
will
I
be
have
on
no
at
idea.
midnight? You guys will be on at midnight?
No idea.
No idea from Rand?
Well, I mean,
Wow, where's the crickets at? Come on, you guys ain't gonna play? Come on.
No, I'm gonna play. I don't know if I'll be on at midnight on.
I don't know if Tim and Jeremy want me to play with them
shit, fucking, we
tomorrow.
might be still doing a podcast at 11 o'clock on.
No,
because the game launches 11 p.m. our time and TXR's on at 10, so we'll definitely be on.
Up with the 9.
I'll be playing earlier, so whatever.
You think you'll be playing it earlier?
I bet you I'll be playing it at least by Sunday.
Like, he's gonna be going to Stone, let me play, man. I got the game. I want to play.
Southbound sent pictures.
Oh, ouch.
Southbound sent pictures out of all the copies he had, and then he heard, I was at his door literally 2 seconds later. I was like,
Mooching.
If I could just get one of those kindly, I'll pay you back on Tuesday.
I hear Mooch is gonna knock Southbound out of the way and take his shit in that game. I heard it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's like, yeah, go ahead, play all weekend. I'll see you in the dark zone.
See you in the dark zone, pal. By the way, I like auto rifles.
I like auto rifles. I got a Desert Eagle for you, buddy.
Yo, man. Shout out to we had up to around 260 people tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight on the CrossFire Podcast, and you will be me and Crap tonight on my Twitch channel.
Hey, real quick though, I just want to say that I did that Classy Gamer Gals podcast yesterday. That was really fun.
I gotta catch that.
Dude,
she's a cool chick. I really like that girl.
She was like Barbara Walters, straight up. She had all these questions, and it was just an hour of stuff. Yeah, it was really interesting. And then tomorrow's my birthday, so yeah, you guys can all send me birthday wishes.
So
and
did we?
Shit, you're a March guy too. Damn,
yeah, man.
Crap, I hate you, man. I'm supposed to be the only one in March.
Nah, man, I'm March my whole life. Believe it or not.
My whole life. Yeah.
Only on a leap year, right?
Yeah, no.
So if they listen to that interview, did they get to know the real crap gamer?
They do actually. She was differentiating like the real me from like kind of the crap gamer and stuff like that. So it was very interesting. Like the people that got to watch it and stuff. So they really liked it, and hopefully, if you guys were interested in more of kind of a personal stuff, then that can go there.
Was it a one-on-one?
Were Snickers had by all?
It was just one-on-one.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will check that out then. Now
was
she's
cool.
the one that's Mamacita?
Yeah, she's the Redskins fan.
Hey, nobody's perfect. What are you gonna do?
Now crap. Did she give you a Snickers? That's all I want to know.
No. And I was very well behaved, and it was fun.
No. That's not what I mean. God, come on. I was talking about a Snickers, you fucking bastard.
Maybe I'm out of the loop on that. I don't know.
Maybe I'm... Oh, man. Well, with that, I'm going to end Crossfire before our jokes get worse and worse. We're starting on a high note. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Everyone have a good one.
Peace.
Later.
Good night.